2024 has been a year of dramatic change in both my personal life and my financial situation. Over the last 6 months or so, I've gotten engaged, my monthly spending has almost doubled with making purchases for our wedding next year, and I've applied and gotten approved for 8 credit cards in 2024. After learning all about credit cards these last few months, my spending has been optimized to make sure I'm taking advantage of high spending multipliers in my top categories, and I was able to hit 5 different sign-up bonuses to earn over 800,000 points and miles. I haven't applied for a credit card since all the way back in 2018 when I first applied and was approved for the Delta Gold, which I later upgraded to the Delta Platinum. Fast forward to May of this year, knowing that I was about to propose to my now fiance and looking to buy an engagement ring, I knew I wanted to add another credit card, not to hit a massive sign-up bonus, but mainly to get a 0% APR offer in the event that I did have to carry a statement balance. After doing some research, I landed on the Chase Freedom Unlimited, which at the time was offering the current welcome offer that's being advertised right now on their website of $250 back or 25,000 ultimate rewards points after $500 in spend in the first 3 months. Even after getting approved for the Freedom Unlimited, I did not immediately shift all of my spend to this card, and I even ended up purchasing that engagement ring on my Delta Platinum card to replenish my Sky Miles balance, which at the time was nearing 0. Leading up to the time that I was getting ready to propose in August, I was looking to add maybe 1 or 2 more credit cards over the next couple years to maybe earn some points and miles to help pay for part of our honeymoon. But it wasn't until we got back home and she started to lay out a budget for how much this wedding would cost that I realized I should be looking to add multiple credit cards and to really start to hone in on those sign-up bonuses, because that is the most efficient way to earn the most amount of points in the shortest amount of time. After taking her Excel spreadsheet and throwing in a simple formula to see what the total was for how much the wedding cost would actually be, I knew that we could travel on our honeymoon completely for free by using credit cards, but also we could potentially rack up enough miles to set us up for the future and some other trips that we wanted to take in years following. Within the 3 weeks of getting engaged to the time when I applied for my next credit card, I was doing everything that I could to learn as much as I can in that short amount of time. I'm talking about day and night being on my computer, on my phone, with AirPods in, watching different videos, trying to learn as much as I possibly could. And with spending all that time, this very quickly became my new hobby. Or I guess now it's really more of an obsession. As I mentioned, one of the first things that I learned was the best way to earn the most amount of points was through those sign-up bonuses. So I started to lay out on paper a simple list of the cards that were offering the highest sign-up bonuses at the time. But as I continued to expand my knowledge, that simple list really turned into a very in-depth and detailed tool that laid out not only those sign-up bonuses, but also all the different benefits, spending multipliers, and how I could potentially use all of those if I were to apply and get approved. The creation of this tool that you can see on the screen here was really what expanded my knowledge on the credit card game and got me out of just thinking about sign-up bonuses and started to look at the totality of the value that you could get from these different cards, specifically for all the wedding spend that we had. As I was creating this tool and, like I said, absorbing as much information as I possibly could, I landed on the American Express Bonvoy Brilliant and the American Express Business Platinum as my next 2 cards to add to my wallet. For the Brilliant card, I applied with the limited time offer of 180,000 Bonvoy points after 6,000 in spend in the first 6 months was being offered. And just a few days later, I was targeted for an offer on the Business Platinum card of 250,000 membership rewards points after 20,000 in spend in 3 months. So not only did I apply for 2 cards in 1 week, but that minimum spend requirement of 20,000 was and still is very daunting. But with myself and my now fiance having a couple of businesses that we were launching, I knew that we could hit that spend requirement with some charges that we had previously been putting on our personal cards. Some of that spend, at least for me, was on a bunch of electronics, whether it be from Newegg or even Best Buy, that I put towards this card to earn 1.5x back on those purchases. But with both the personal and the business platinum card, the spending multipliers are essentially non-existent, so we only earned 1x back on the majority of that 20,000 in spend to net us around 27,000 points. So after that sign-up bonus hit my account, we were netting around 277,000 points on the business platinum card. Looking at the Brilliant card, as I mentioned, we were required to only spend 6,000 in 6 months, which quite honestly, outside of wedding purchases, we could hit no problem. Being a Marriott loyalist, of course, I was looking forward to taking advantage of the Platinum Elite status that comes with this card. Granted, it comes with the catch of a $650 annual fee. But the spending multipliers of 3x back at restaurants and 2x back on other purchases aren't that bad, so I did end up adding my fiance as an authorized user to put all of our everyday spend on this one card. In terms of wedding spend, the two bigger purchases that we put on this card were the deposit for our photographer and her initial deposit for her wedding dress, netting us around 33,000 Marriott Bonvoy points for that spend. After factoring in the sign-up bonus, we're looking at a balance of about 218,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. After hitting that minimum spend requirement on both cards in about a month and a half or so, I did want to get my fiance more involved and build out more of a two-player strategy, and selfishly, I didn't want another hard inquiry on my own credit report. Doing some analysis on our spend over the last 12 months or so, we quickly realized that groceries and supermarkets were not only our biggest spending categories, but were really the biggest gap that we were trying to fill with a high spending multiplier. I had already been looking at the American Express Gold Card offering that 100,000 point welcome offer when I was solely focused on sign-up bonuses, and at least for us, the refresh to the card that happened in July of 2024 when they raised the annual fee and updated some of the credits, the changes to those credits actually ended up working in our favor in our current monthly spending habits, and I knew that we could get positive value at a minimum of $20 every year with this card. So it was really a no-brainer to add this card, earning 4x back on our two top spending categories outside of rent. We haven't really moved any spend outside of strictly restaurants and groceries to this card, so I don't anticipate us hitting that sign-up bonus until about February of next year. I won't be including that total of 100,000 membership rewards points plus whatever we get back from those spending multipliers for the sake of this video, but looking ahead to 2025, this could potentially push us past our goal of earning 1 million points in just 1 year, which, as you can tell already from the title of this video and where I'm at currently, I think we need to sit down and set a new goal for where we think we could actually be by the end of 2025. The same week that she applied for the American Express Gold Card, I ended up applying for the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card. I did not get an instant approval for this card, and quite honestly, I could probably make a separate video about my whole experience with it taking over 3 weeks to finally get approved. I did start to get nervous, especially the last week before being approved, because the limited time offer of 90,000 points, which I had signed up for all the way back in October, was expiring on November 9th. Even though I was technically approved after that date, Chase did honor the bonus that I signed up for originally of 90,000 points after 6,000 in spend in 3 months. After shifting all of my everyday business spend to this card, I did earn around 10,000 Ultimate Rewards points. So factoring in the sign-up bonus there, I was looking at over 100,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points. So going back to even well before I applied for that Inc. Business Unlimited card, I knew that I would eventually have to add either the Sapphire Preferred, Sapphire Reserve, or the Inc. Business Preferred to be able to transfer out all the Chase Ultimate Rewards points I was earning to their transfer partners. It just so happened that around the same time, on the Sapphire Preferred, they were offering a limited time offer that was worth well over $1,000 in value. If you remember, the offer was for 60,000 Ultimate Rewards points plus a $300 travel credit after just 4,000 in spend in the first 3 months. So with the limited time offer providing me so much value for just a $95 annual fee card, the Sapphire Preferred giving me that ability to transfer out to those travel partners, and the spending categories on this card, one in particular, that 2x on travel, that I really wanted to take advantage of for our wedding spend specifically. So I did apply and get an instant approval on the very last day before that limited time offer expired. As soon as I was approved, we ended up putting down a deposit for an Airbnb for July 4th of next year, which we typically do every single year, so we earn 2x back on that purchase. I also moved all of my streaming services like YouTube TV, ESPN Plus, the Disney Bundle, Apple Music, Apple TV, and Peacock to earn 3x back on those. And in terms of wedding spend, we did use this card to earn 2x back on our wedding venue deposit, which does code as a boutique hotel. With those spending multipliers, we did earn just under 15,000 Ultimate Rewards points, so after factoring in the sign-up bonus, we were looking at about 75,000 points total, with that $300 travel credit. So after I applied for the Sapphire Preferred, quite honestly, I thought I was done for the year of 2024 with credit card applications. I wanted to give my credit report a break. But after I had downgraded my Delta Platinum card down to the Blue card so that I no longer had to pay that high annual fee of $350, there were a couple of benefits that I wasn't willing to give up, especially that Takeoff 15 benefit, because I will remain a Delta loyalist. I just kind of lost interest in that personal Platinum card, but I knew I wanted to still take advantage of that discounted rate when booking with SkyMiles. Not only that, but when going into my Delta account a few weeks ago, I noticed I was just about 400 MQD short of hitting gold status again for 2025. The Delta Platinum Business Card was the perfect card for us to add to earn that 3x back on hotels, while allowing me to hit that MQD minimum to hit gold status again in 2025, as I've really started to love a lot of those perks that come with gold. In one of my recent videos, I did do a more in-depth look on my Delta credit card strategy specifically, so if you're curious why I added the Platinum card after downgrading the personal Platinum card, which I don't blame you for being confused, feel free to check out that video after this one that I'll link here and down in the description. I did go ahead and apply for the Delta Platinum Business Card for an offer of 70,000 Sky Miles after 6,000 in spend in just the first 6 months. Within 1 week from applying to actually receiving the card in the mail, we did end up hitting that sign-up bonus, earning about 24,000 Sky Miles for the spending alone with those multipliers, and an additional 70,000 points, netting us around 94,000 Sky Miles total. With only a few weeks left in December, happy holidays by the way, this will officially be my last credit card application of 2024, you have my word on that. So it's been a wild ride in 2024, especially in the credit card game. So let's take a look at all the points that I was able to earn in just the last 4 months. In terms of American Express membership rewards, I was able to earn 277,000 or so points with the Business Platinum card. I did sign up for Rakuten just a couple of months ago to stack some more spending multipliers and points. I was able to earn around 4,200 points so far, with another 10,000 or so pending, which I have scheduled to be transferred directly into my American Express membership rewards account. Also within American Express's ecosystem, I was able to earn around 218,000 Marriott Bonvoy points and another 94,000 Sky Miles from that Delta Platinum Business Card. Shifting over to Chase Ultimate Rewards, I was able to earn over 100,000 with my Ink Business Unlimited, and an additional 74,000 or so with the Sapphire Preferred. Over the last couple of months, I've started to optimize my spending, so I have started to move some of my miscellaneous spending over to my Chase Freedom Unlimited, so that's finally getting some use. I am earning 1.5x back on those purchases now, and that's come out to be just over 6,000 additional Ultimate Rewards points. Outside of American Express and Chase, which I've tried to stick to as my main 2 lenders, I did also apply and got approved for the Bilt MasterCard in September of this year as well. So if you remember, this was actually 3 applications all within 2 weeks between the Bilt card, the American Express Business Platinum, and the Bonvoy Brilliant. The main reason for adding the Bilt card was of course to finally earn on my true top spending category every month, earning that 1x back, which has netted me just over 15,000 Bilt rewards points. As I talked about in my most recent video, I see the Bilt card as the most valuable no annual fee credit card of 2024 and 2025 already, but I think the sky is the limit, and if you are curious to get my take on that, which I do have linked right here and down in the description, feel free to check out that video after this one. After adding in those Bilt rewards points, you can see that I'm now at a total of over 800,000 points and miles across all of my different credit cards. As I talked about before, we are working on that sign-up bonus for the American Express Gold card, which will give us at least an additional 125,000 or so membership rewards points. And with my current roadmap, with all the different cards that I have plans to apply for into next year, we should be well over 1.5 million points when all is said and done with our wedding. I do feel obligated to say that this is my own specific strategy tailored to my organic monthly spending habits, and even still, it's not perfect. I know I've made plenty of mistakes along the way. Everyone's financial situation and credit card strategy is very different and should be tailored to your own specifications. So don't think that you can go applying for the cards that I did, that I showed you in this video, thinking that you can earn, as I did, over 800,000 points. If you're someone just getting started in the credit card game, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to lay out, as I did with the tool that I showed you earlier, a true long-term strategy for, yes, maybe some cards that you want to hit sign-up bonuses for that you might end up canceling, but the most important thing is to look at cards that you could see fitting into your wallet and your spending habits long-term. Even if you're someone who's looking for a wedding credit card strategy that you can use, just keep in mind that, as you can tell, I'm loyal to Delta and Marriott. Not only am I earning in Chase Ultimate Rewards and American Express membership rewards, which can be transferred to those transfer partners, but I'm also adding partnered cards specific to that airline and hotel chain. And I don't expect anyone to copy and paste my exact strategy or roadmap for all the different cards that I'm adding, but if there's one thing that you can take away is to do what I did and spend the time to lay out all the different things that you have going on with your current spending habits, what gaps you need to fill with some spending multipliers for your core wallet first. From there, once you've built out a good core setup, then start to think about some other cards that you could potentially add just for the sign-up bonuses or some of the perks like I am with the Brilliant card. I hope by documenting my journey, which has allowed me to learn even more about this game, that you can get some value and implement some strategies that I'm using. So let me know down below which cards that you think that I should add next for my wedding credit card roadmap into 2025, or if you think that I should be venturing outside of just Chase and American Express to some other lenders like Capital One, Citi, or even now Wells Fargo. If you're interested to see which cards I end up applying for in 2025, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future updates on what's going on with my wallet or my overall wedding credit card strategy. Any way that you can support the channel is greatly appreciated, and it actually in turn inspires me to continue making content like this. Thank you so much for even clicking on and watching this video. You have no idea how much that means to me. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.